gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting. I know Pride of Altaris was kind of a one that caused a lot of chaos in amongst my team. So, yeah, without any further ado, my thing didn't show up. Give me 1 second. Let's see if I can fix that. Nope, it just completely disappeared. All right, no worries then. Let's just start this off with, on the bottom right side of the map, it's your player.
My boy! Going for an early pull. It's gonna be Armani. The greatest Korean player to be named after a pseudo-luxurious brand ever.
All right, in the top left, my player from the Stasis Wardies is Solar. As we kick off into this first game of a best of 5. And yeah, that cheeky little 12 pool. One drone already sneaking out up the right side. But Solar has gone gas first. Surely that's good for me, CatZ. Gas pool. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, that's brilliant for you. And what Armani is doing here is just checking the gold. He talked about this. He would check the gold with a drone, but I mean, I guess he could still use this drone offensively if there isn't a gold. So his strategy is kind of double folded in that sense. But yeah, I mean, as far as Solar is concerned, he should be very happy with his openers.
Yeah, he's actually going to send his own drone out now as well, which I assume is to move toward the gold, which is probably that part, I guess, less than ideal, but he will at least be able to produce lings pretty quickly on the back of this. I mean, I'm not sure how it actually works, 12 pool versus gas pool gold, so that's it's an interesting setup.
Yeah, gas pool has to be the best thing that could happen here. Armani did patrol his drone before going in, so now he's going to check the natural base and he's going to see that there isn't one. Maybe now he double checks the gold and then maybe he can get a cancel and play a game from there. But at the moment, it's all Solar. The only good news for Armani, I think, is that, you know, Solar didn't make 6 links right away. Oh, man, but he pulled all the drones.
Solar's going to see it now at least, so he knows that it's going on, and he can make his decisions based on that, of course. He instantly cancels the gold, so he's going to play one base on one base. He starts a spine. Armani's going to try and sneak a spine up in the corner. Oh, Solar goes scout it. I mean, the drones are coming, the lings are coming. Solar obviously just, I mean, more than anything needs to buy time for some extra units to pop. His queen will be here soon to help as well. And ooh, now he gets the first ling, but actually he loses his first lings to the other side. Needs this queen to do some mega damage, CatZ.
This is good concave actually for Armani, and the link speed is actually working against Solar in this particular instance. He would do well to cancel it probably because all he needs to do is hold right now. That's not gonna ever kick in. But Armani is still bleeding. It looks like he's not gonna have enough. The spine for Solar will complete. Armani will reposition his spine, but so will Solar right behind him. And this looks bad for us.
Yeah, the queen survives as well. Solar's going to keep it alive, as obviously the spine's going to get a few shots off, but we've got lings to take the spine down as well. A couple of drones are going to try and go for the queen, but it's not quite going to be enough. And Solar is going to pick up the first game for the Stasis Wardies of the entire existence of the Stasis Wardies.
Yeah, and I mean, that was a rough opening first game for us. When we made the lineups, we thought Solar would be most likely on this map. And we thought, you know, it's Armani or Lambo probably, but we went with Armani, and we knew that either one of these matches, it's like kind of 50-50-ish just because of the nature of that map, right? Like you can usually either expand or at the natural expansion or at the gold. And then if you think that the gold expansion is going on, then you go for an early pull and you try to punish it. If you don't think it's going on, then you take the gold yourself usually, and one of those is just such a huge advantage, right? Like it's literally a coin flip, but Solar going extremely safe here, and yeah, not panning out for us.
You know, honestly, we had a massive argument over Pride of Altaris. It almost tore the Stasis Wardies apart because Solar was like, you know, obviously ByuN started out and he was like, you know, guys, look, I think these maps are good for us, you know, pretty simple, just like, you know, putting the Terrans on the Terra maps and stuff. He's like, and Solar, you play Pride. And Solar comes in and he's like, F Pride of Altaris, what a waste of my potential. He's like, it's a coin flip in ZVZ, you know, why don't you play Pride, ByuN? You're going to lose anyway, you know, especially if you get TVZ. So, you know, put me on a map where I'm almost guaranteed to win against any other race rather than coin flipping me. So we had a bit of division between the Stasis Wardies. But in the end, Solar came back and he said, look, I do think I'm probably the only player that can play Pride, so I guess I will have to.
Problem,
yeah, I guess I'll have to play Pride. So we're really looking forward to playing some non-Zerg teams like Muslim and Fear Dragon, because as a team together, we'll be just more whole, you know?
We thought that there was a chance that Classic played Pride just because he has like weird builds sometimes, so maybe he could like have a gold first type build.
Yep.
And I also thought personally that Classic is like kind of like the reserve type that's unlikely to, be too, I guess, vociferous. I don't know what the word is. Like to be too loud about his opinion. So maybe he would have been gotten pushed there. But yeah, I kind of agree with Solar's assessment. It's just difficult because we have 3 Zergs.
Yeah, no, I mean, you guys are a Zerg set. You actually hogged all the Zerg. The Zerg was the least represented race during the draft, and you just got Zerg after Zerg, which is pretty nice. That's actually one of the reasons I thought I maybe messed up getting ByuN first, because I thought, well, maybe I should have got Solar, because in my eyes there wasn't a lot of Zergs I could get further down. So that was the one thing I was worried about, but yeah, I got Solar in the end, which is very nice, as we are going to be having Game 2 soon. It is going to be Glitter and Ashes, and it's going to be some PvP action. We have a lot of mirrors. It's going to be obviously Creative versus DNS, and that'll be coming up shortly once we find DNS. Yeah, so I'm just going to come out and start making excuses, cats. My players have had COVID all week. So we've actually had a couple of players who just haven't been able to play all week as well. So I'm actually, while we got the first map win, I'm not very confident still. I wish I could come into this and be like, this and that, and we're going to mess you guys up, but I actually do worry because my players, like I say, they've not all been able to play. They've not all been able to strategize properly. So I'm just hoping they're going to be able to pull it together a little bit. And I told them, look, if you can't win in week 1, we've got week 2. We just pick up a few wins, we make playoffs. All you have to be is make playoffs and be good on playoff day, right? To which ByuN said, ... No, Wardi. Your health doesn't matter. What matters is the team lead. So team captain ByuN kind of went against team manager, I guess. So that was something.
Yeah, and that's good. I mean, yeah, competitive spirit here is huge from the players, and everyone wants to win this. Yeah, a lot of it for us, for example, like for me, from my perspective, my team doesn't have as much depth, especially Bunny playing with a cast. If we're making excuses, I mean, he's playing with a cast, until Tuesday, he's not gonna have it removed. So that's definitely gonna be a difficult player to rely on. And even after he removes the cast and after he's fully healed, there's no telling how long it'll take him to get back to form. It might be a week, might be 2 weeks, but that's already 2 weeks worth of play in this Clan Wars, right? And he's my second draft pick. Lambo, I think, gives a lot to the team in terms of strategizing and stuff. He's mostly the one putting forth the lineups and the potential lineups from our opponents and stuff like that. But in his round draft, I think it's pretty even. I wouldn't say he's a huge favorite, even though I did get the first pick in the third round of the draft, right? So, I mean, and Armani and DNS are 2 heavy underdogs. So for me personally, I look at a lot of these lineups, and I think that for us to win the league, and I want to win the league, we have to have Serral sniping people, and we have to have Serral sniping people under difficult circumstances, kind of like a reverse Rainer, if you will. Right, yeah. So I need him to take the bullet sometimes, and in this Clan War, for example, he was quick to say, yeah, I'll take the server disadvantage, because we talked about this, and I proposed these things, and he agrees, and yeah, I love to have Serral because he's just so powerful and just yeah, let's go for it. He wants the win more than he wants his wins,
Yeah, no, Serral's terrifying. We actually saw Serral versus ByuN. It was kind of funny because Solar beat ByuN in a Wardi tournament 7-0 or something. They played twice, won a bracket finals and grand finals. And Solar was like, ByuN, I hope you don't get TVZ because I don't think you can win this matchup. And ByuN's like ... And then he gets Serral, and Solar's just like, oh my god, our team is in trouble. So just gonna double check the players already. We should be able to kick this off and get into our next map here in just a second, as just get everyone set to go. Just waiting for DNS to ready up as well, and we will be good to go.
Yeah, and this match, I mean, it's extremely important. It's going to be Creator versus DNS, and again, this is one of the servers that we did pick, right? So we got first server pick. We picked Lambo versus Classic. We all decided that was the best. We thought that your team would pick Spirit because Spirit is usually very loud about how he dislikes ping, and being there for Koreans, being too polite possibly to tell the one non-Korean no. We thought Spirit would likely get that. And then we decided on DNS Creator over Serral ByuN. Serral said something like, I don't mind taking it, but he also, like, after talking to him, he also, like, thought that this was the best chances for the team because this match is still close. It's extremely important. I think on paper, DNS is a slight underdog, but maybe with the ping advantage, he can push it over the line. We really need this one.
All right, let's see if you get it. As in the bottom left, we're going to start off with the light green Protoss play. I like the light green for the Stasis Wardies. It is Creator.
And in the top right-hand side, we chose red because red is for blood. It's Root Gaming's DNS for the GOAT and the Gang. GOAT and the Gang, rather.
I do have to admit, CatZ, I do think GOAT and the Gang might be one of the best team names in the entire league.
Thanks. Yeah, Lambo came up with it, and we all got behind it really quick, yeah. It's kind of perfect, right? Like, it's...
No, it's great. You know, honestly, when Roddy told me his, I thought he was joking. Because I was like, hey, do you have a team name? And he's like, yeah, the Rotterdam Admirals. I was like, oh, yeah, good one. He's like, no, really? I'm like, that doesn't seem like you, Roddy. I thought you were going to, you know, last time you had no brain, no pain. And but it makes sense because he's got the captains. That's his theme, apparently. So, yeah. But I had to admit, I like going.
But why not Rotterdam and the captains, then?
Well...
Or Rotterdam's captains?
Well, I guess Admiral's just like trying to be a fancy way of saying that, right? I suppose.
I suppose so. I mean, there's like no sea in StarCraft. Admiral's like, wait, what's an admiral? It's like sea based, right?
Yeah,
right?
I feel it's like it's like ship based, right? Something like that. Captains of ships.
Yeah, commander of a fleet or naval squadron. So yeah, it really doesn't make much sense in StarCraft, right? Like they're just gonna be out of their element. It feels like, but.
Yeah, no, I think they are. They got a bit lucky yesterday as well, actually. Obviously I was observing the games and I was like, man, Roddy, you know, he sounded like dead at times because he knew his team was in trouble and they just looked out. So I'm ready for you to be a bit later on, CatZ.
I'm hoping that's gonna be the case. And yeah, I agree with you. I looked at the lineups on paper. And I really like the lineups for Ravi and what's CG, the other one, right? Or CG, both Ravi and CG had good lineups. I thought the entire day. Yeah, but it didn't pan out that well.
No, and that terrified me as well because I don't mind our lineup so much, but then it went so wrong yesterday, and I'm like, oh god, anything can happen in this tournament, man. Like best of ones, it's just wild. Yeah,
I messaged Ravi actually before the match, and I was like, damn, I saw your lineups. Like I'm really liking. Like I think you go 2-0. You know, like it looks like a 3-2 twice, and then it didn't happen. Yeah, 0-5, a very quick first 0-5 in the league.
It was like the first game was cool as well, but then the moment that Trap loses, I'm like, well, that's a great first game, but is that not just the series? And yeah, they just couldn't get anything going for themselves. That was kind of sad. This PvP is pretty friendly, CatZ. We're going to take a base each. We're going to take some units, and a little bit of a difference there. Creator got a couple of adepts. Your boy DNS has got some stalkers, but both the same kind of trend of getting some sentries out, get some hallucinations on the map, and picking up some info.
Yeah, and I prefer the stalkers for scaling. Obviously, the adepts provide a little bit, like you can get away with adepts and you use a little bit less gas, so your tech paths open up a little bit faster and you have potential to do some damage. So we see here Creator trying to be sneaky, going around. The stalkers are looking for those adepts. They're not going to expect them from this angle, but DNS already preemptively dropping the shield battery, so good on him. And yeah, I think his plan, and especially with the ping advantage that we did secure him, is going to be to go to the late game here, play maybe Disruptors or something of the likes, and you know, Disruptors with a ping disadvantage can really be deadly for the opposing player. So just hoping DNS gets there, and then he'll be in his element.
Yeah, no, I was worried about the ping in PvP. You know, you talked about your thoughts, but I thought we wanted either the TVT or the PvP. Creator's that player that just couldn't play all week, so we kind of said, you know what? He said himself, he's like, I'm just not confident, I'm not comfortable. You're better giving it to like Spirit, who has a better chance than me. So was kind of talking to himself, but like I say, just he's been ill all week, man. He's barely picked up the keyboard and mouse, but this good catch. He's gonna grab one stalker Creator. Now he's gonna go hunting for the other one, and he knows that there's a pylon over here, so he can get that as well, and that's just gonna be a little bit annoying. And yeah, this is just gonna be great. Get a pylon, and it's a lot of units just already on the map from Creator. He's got all of his army out over here. Oh, and he intercepts stalkers on the bottom side. I think he's gonna kill one.
He might get one. Yeah. That's really rough for DNS, and that's losing 2 stalkers, going up a ramp, getting a little bit greedy, chasing after the adepts, thinking his opponent made a mistake, but he was being baited more than anything else. These 2 stalkers are gonna stay behind and kill the pylon, but it makes me wonder even if the entire army shouldn't just have stayed there. It seems like a bigger risk, but at this point you've already lost 2 stalkers. If you lose 2 more, it might as well be lights out, and they're gonna get caught indeed. So if the entire army was clearing that pylon, then he clears it faster and retreats faster too. He will trap a couple of stalkers here with the force shields, but not really managing to punish. So this is looking pretty rough for us.
CatZ, he has no battery in the natural. His pylon's only just finishing. The adepts will not get up the ram and crater. He's moments away from blinks. He's going to have blink advantage as well. Oh, CatZ, I think you're in trouble, mate.
I'm in a lot of trouble indeed. This shield battery needs to finish. Creator needs to make a timing mistake, but he's not going to. He's going to walk in as soon as he gets the blink. He is kind of leaving some of his army behind in the shape of the sentries that could have contributed here perhaps. The adepts are going to try to shade on forward, and yeah, I feel like with the sentries he would have even been able to maybe close out the game outright, but choosing to be overly cautious, and yeah, I mean, we're alive, I guess.
You live, you live. Yeah, I agree. I kind of wanted him to just go blink in and just kill you, but... You know, fair enough, he's not going to take the risk. He didn't know if the battery was up, I don't think, right? Because all the vision he had was the adepts until they finish it, and he just doesn't know if there's a battery behind the pylon, so... Obviously just playing a little bit safe, doesn't want to give it up. I mean, he's still taking a big advantage, right? He's dropped a 3rd base way faster, he's getting his charge and extra gates already going, and DNS is going to start building an Immortal, which... I'm always in 2 minds about Immortals in PvP, where sometimes, obviously, they're a great buffer, they can perform well, but if Creator's now gone home and is already starting up charge, he's going to have charge lots charging in, and he just, like, swarms with gateway units, I think it's going to be tough for that Immortal to really make a difference.
For sure, for sure. I mean, from DNS's perspective, I think he needs the Immortal, because if Creator committed to an extra wave or 2 of Stalkers, if he commits to trying to deny the 3rd, he needs that piece for the Stalkers. But I think you're absolutely right, and that's a brilliant decision from Creator, kind of skipping a step over into the charge, which is kind of like the counter to the Immortal. So yeah, things are definitely looking good for you guys. I'm hating this.
I'm loving it, CatZ, honestly. I've watched you guys, you know, revel in glory and feel all the pain in the last season. I'm enjoying the start because it feels good when you're winning, apparently. I'm sure times will turn at some point, but for now, Creator's actually going to start fighting. He needs to be careful. I mean, he doesn't really want to fight the Immortal with the Stalkers. He's got Zealots. He's now got Charge. You know, fight with the Zealots, right? Make sure that Immortal is wasted. I imagine he's going to charge in, maybe even blink on the battery and just get rid of super battery potential. Looks like he's going to keep on poking with the Stalkers, but again, he's just got so many gateways as well, CatZ. He's 8 gates against 4.
Yeah, and he's gonna walk straight into the natural base. That's not the place that is most well defended here for DNS. His Immortal is gonna get caught at the front, but no, actually, it's allowed to escape for the time being, regardless. That is a ton of units on the side of Creator. DNS is trying to do what he can to leverage his shields and kind of kite back, but even the natural is getting ravaged by this Zealots. Already 5 probes down here. It looks near impossible.
Yeah, he's actually going to walk into the natural now, Creator. Well, I mean, still a battery in the background on the 3rd base, but not a lot of energy on it. He's had Zealots up in the main. He's going to bring them back down. I feel like Creator's a little bit worried about his own position. He's not quite sure, but I think he's got enough. He's got Zealots on the left side as well that should be able to join the fray, and they're going to go charging forward too, as we just bring everything in, and obviously just going to clean out this Immortal, clean out these Stalkers. DNS is going to tap out, and the Stasis Wardis are going to get a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and that's really rough. Obviously, we would have loved to pick up one of these 2 maps. I think both would have been unrealistic, but one would have been good. I think these are the ones that we were most unfavored in. But again, there's the issue of Bunny with the cast, right? And now playing with a cast and on ping disadvantage, that is going to be a tough hill to climb. And I think it's Lambo versus Classic next, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely not. I feel like this one is like... I'd like to win it here, CatZ. I know that's boring. I know that's a 3-0, but I'd like to win it here because obviously I feel like Lambo is a terrifying ZVP player. I believe in my captain ByuN, but sometimes Serral, he's a sneaky Zerg. He can, you know, cheese out a couple people when you don't expect him to. So I would kind of like to close it down here. I think this is our best chance, and as the series goes on from this, if we don't close it out, it becomes less and less likely that we win it. So ahead, but not looking brilliant, I suppose, just yet.
Yeah, a lot is on this match. I mean, like a lot is on any of these matches. But it's like you said, like on paper, I looked at the lineups. I thought, okay, the first 2 are most likely to lose out of everyone else. Like the Lambo versus Classic match is super, super close. as well, but Lambo does have the ping advantage, so I'm hoping that was enough to secure the win there. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. But this matchup, on paper, Bunny a heavy favorite, but again, playing with a cast and on ping disadvantage.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be really rough. I wonder what he's gonna do. Actually, I am very intrigued as to what he brings out. Just gonna double check the players are ready, and we can kick this one off.
Yeah, someone in the chat they're saying CatZ has blood paint. I don't have blood paint, my friend.
You don't have blood paint. It's war paint, isn't it?
It's no paint. What? It's just blood.
It's just blood. Oh, from your team, from your team members.
I guess at this point, yeah, it's DNS's and Armani's blood at the moment.
Yes, maybe you'll pick up some spirit blood right now. These guys are ready, so we're gonna go into Berlingrad. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you can obviously tell from my map picks, but my team just very simply went for Terrans on the Terran maps, Zerg on Pride, and the Protoss players split the other maps between them, and they kind of had a fight over what they wanted the most. So it's the strategy wasn't too deep, but I actually kind of like it. You know, simple, not overcomplicating things, just playing the maps. I think we're a strong best of one team, so if you put each player on a strong best of one map for them, I just like my team like that. You know, I don't feel like we need anything too fancy. So
yeah, for sure. I think that's fair. And
yeah,
we're in.
Take it away,
So
CatZ.
in the bottom right-hand side, it is my boy, the greatest animal-named player of all time. It's Bunny.
The greatest animal name player of all time. I'm trying to think of something else, but the only other player I can think of is Bunny. Like the other Bunny, Danish Bunny. So yeah, okay. I'll give it to you. In the top left, he evolved from a soul to a spirit. He is spirit. That intro was really cool in my head, but it fizzled out a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, spirit was a 5th round pick, man. I thought for sure he'd go in like the 4th.
Wasn't he 4th? I thought,
No. I got
he was
creative.
5th?
I got creative 4th. I got spirit.
Oh, that's crazy.
Not just 5th, but like obviously when I picked 5th, like there was only like 5 picks left, so he was one of the last 5 players to be taken, and especially after he played in Katowice, he played really well there. I was.
He's an excellent player.
Yeah, no, I was shocked. I mean, my entire team was like this. You know, after I picked my 2nd round pick, I was like, oh, I would love Classic, and then Classic was still there. And then after I picked Classic, I was like, oh, we'd love Creator, and Creator was still there. And it was the same for Spirit. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, he's insane. He's a very, very strong player. But yeah, I was actually between for my 4th pick between Spirit and Armani. I was between Armani and Scarlet, and then Spirit was only discarded because Lambo thought that he tends to choke in Clan Wars, basically. So
yeah.
I'm hoping that's true.
Yeah, I do. I actually do kind of get by that. I feel like sometimes Spirit can be a little bit hit or miss. But then my other choice, I think, was... I mean, the other picks that got taken after me were what? Like Prince, CatZ, DNS. I think overall Spirit's just a little bit stronger. I think Prince was maybe the other strong choice, but I already had 2 Protoss players. I was just trying to make that well-rounded team a little bit. And yeah, we got Spirit. We'll see what he can do. I asked him if he needed any help to prep for this. He's like, it's TVT. I was like, oh, so I assume you're good. I was like, you know, I've got some replays if it maybe helps or anything. He's like, it's TVT. And I'm like, okay, it's TVT. I assume that means you're just going to win. You know, you're too good for preparing.
Yeah. That sounds like Spirit, yeah. So yeah, you should have just been like, what do you mean by that? You know, he probably wouldn't know what to go. But this is a really good start for Spirit. Man, every game has started poorly for us.
Yeah, it's a good start, and he's gonna get that Reaper out of there obviously as well. Even hits the grenade, not that it's really influential. It's just another thing that goes that way.
Yeah, like for me, the hitting the grenade is like I picture Bunny with his cast, you know, not able to move away from the grenade fast enough. You know, that's what I see when I see a grenade hitting a Reaper, because it just doesn't happen at this level usually.
So did Bunny have to put didn't Bunny have his cast off? Did he have to put it back on? What happened?
Well, I'm not sure, because last time he said he took off his cast. Maybe he's taking it off for the matches. I'm not sure, because he said he has it on until Tuesday still. So he hasn't been playing either, yeah. That's what he said before this match.
Oh, that's sad. You guys want to see it as well? We actually have a video with... at some point you're talking about Bunny and his cast, and then his cast appears on the side of the screen. I was like, man, my video editor has more information than I do. But I didn't know this was out on Twitter or anything, so... Yeah, Yeah, that's crazy.
Nice.
That's kind of unlucky as well, man. But you know what? Like I was saying for my team, if we don't perform this week, next week, you only need to perform on playoff day, CatZ. Get to playoffs, perform on the playoff day, and then boom.
I don't need your pity just yet, Wardi. This match is still on. Like,
yeah, just
we got this.
I just don't want you to be too sad after the first game, man.
No, we got this. We got this. Like, look at the supply. As Todd would say.
Look at the supply. Bunny's got 10 army supply. There's 6 Hellions that aren't doing anything.
I'm just looking at the supply. I don't care about any logical arguments.
Bunny doesn't have the gas for his second Raven. That's kind of funky.
That is kind of funky. It's going to be a little bit too. A little ways away indeed. So, yeah, let's see. I mean, what is Spirit doing? This guy.
He's taking a really fast third base, which I like as well, because 6 Hellions aren't going to stop a fast third base. I'll tell you that much, CatZ.
Yeah, I mean, there's a Cyclone now, just to match Spirit Cyclone as well. And tank production on either side, but Spirit already... actually, yeah, already a little bit further ahead on that regard. His first tank is going to pop out earlier. No third from Bunny, so I wonder if he's going to go for that or if he's looking for a timing here. Wardi, what does TVT look like?
I think the third isn't even a weird time from Bunny. Spirit's just played greedy, right? Like, he delayed his first Raven a little bit, but then Bunny was a bit out of sync for Raven 2, so it's going to kind of even out. And Spirit just cut into that third CC much faster, and honestly, like I say, it's the 6 Hellions from Bunny. He spent 600 minerals on something that haven't done anything. You know, they've just been sat back. That could have been the command center much earlier, right? So what Spirit did was risky, and maybe against certain aggression he would have been in a little bit more trouble, but with Bunny just sitting back, and especially with the Hellions, I just feel like he's not been able to get much done. And now Spirit's got the fastest second and third racks as well, so it looks really good for Spirit. The one thing that would be scary, obviously, is if Bunny pushes, because he might have that little army supply edge. I honestly believe with the Ravens being at 2 for Spirit, he should be okay to defend something like that. He is going to move forward and take his third base, which is obviously perhaps a little bit risky. But even then, I don't know if I hate it. Yeah, it is seen by Bunny. I wonder if that triggers him to move out.
Yeah, I would like for that. I mean, in small numbers, the Hellions are still going to be somewhat effective against Marines, especially before they get like medevacs out and like their upgrades finished. Stim is only now starting for Spirit, so maybe there is yet value that can be gained from these Hellions, which I think were just made basically in case Spirit did the same and he would have like a couple more and punish and run back and run him down, right? But now he's going to have to use them offensively against a more complex army here with the tanks ready to siege.
Yeah, he's got that sensor tower so quickly as well, man. I feel like he's invested into so many things, but if Bunny had hit a minute ago, I'd be worried because the second and third racks weren't online, you know, and all of this and that. The Bunny coming forward now, that I'm not too worried about. We lose a Cyclone. Tanks will not siege right away. The interference matrices go down. Whoa, Spirit decides just to mass auto turret here instead. He will land his Vikings. He is outnumbered in the skies, and the 3 tanks of Bunny remain alive, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Target fire. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. The target fire was pretty much perfect from Bunny. They're waiting until the very end to pick off the tank. It was getting really close, but it's just not enough. I mean, there was so much energy on the side of Spirit. Even starts by losing the Cyclone, but the fact that he had the faster tank production and already those tanks sieged, just strengthening numbers and in position there for Spirit to hold Bunny's first attack. And yeah, it looks rough, man.
Yeah, that was a great hold in the end for Spirit. I was terrified because his Ravens died, and I was like, oh man, both the Ravens and Bunny are alive. So even if you win this fight, the power of just having Ravens left over is obviously huge. But obviously Spirit did clean those up at the very end, and his couple of tanks survived. And yeah, obviously, I mean, the supplies. I'm looking at the supplies as well now, CatZ. You know, just worker
I mean,
supply,
that doesn't really...
army supply.
Yeah, that's not too important right now. The Viking count is where it's at. Yeah. The Viking count is what will determine this game. So we got 5 of those. You got 2. Looks pretty good.
I don't know if anything determines this game when you only have 3 Marines to support your army, though.
Yeah. I mean, this medevacs, they could get caught by the great Viking numbers.
That's true. He has rallied around past a depot and into a couple Vikings, but he's going to... Okay, I'm not going to lie. I don't like this. He's pushing 5 tanks on their own in the middle of the map. I'd like them to have some support spirit, like just a little bit, you know? He's going to land 2 Vikings in the back of the natural, so he's just going full on distraction. He's actually pulled the Vikings on the bottom side out of position. Bunny's going to turn them back around, but...
Oh, nice.
Okay, I mean, he's still going to get to unload a little bit.
Oh, nice,
no. All the Vikings, no,
This is good.
Stop.
All right. This is the first positive move for our team here. The Vikings and the natural get cleaned up. Only 3 losses there. And now Spirit is trying to gain positioning out of this, but on the hovering over the edge of that watchtower is going to mean that Bunny's aware of the position that he's coming from. Readjusts one of the tanks. No Raven here to dislodge that. So Bunny somewhat stabilizing. Still lagging a little bit behind. But, you know, we're in it.
I hated everything about that. He gave up the 2 Vikings in the natural. He lost everything in the main and he killed maybe 1 Viking. There was just nothing good about that at all. I can't spin it any way I'd like to. I mean, the good news is still kind of the lead from earlier, maybe. I was obviously still there for Spirit, and he's still got a few more workers and stuff, but yeah, he needs to not make plays like that. Like, he's ahead enough that he doesn't need to make plays like that either. That's the sort of stuff I expect Bunny to be doing to try and get back in. Spirit just needs to, you know, take control, push slow, not get too ahead of himself.
Yeah, the setup for Spirit was pretty interesting, right? Like, he sees just some tanks in the middle, so if Bunny, you know, chooses to counterattack, he won't get caught off guard. And then he goes for a 2-pronged harass. Lands the Vikings first, which is pretty cool because it opens up for the medevacs. But that supply depot that Spirit is now going to clean up was really the lifesaver for Bunny. And just the presence of mind to turn those Vikings around, right? Like, he F2'd those 2 Vikings at first, and then realized there was potential threat elsewhere. So Bunny with a brilliant defense there. We'll see if it can amount to some more than that, as Spirit is now threatening this side of the map.
Hey, he's gonna supply block Bunny. That's big. Big plays by Spirit. That's actually a big supply block. I was actually joking at first, but a couple more depots coming out.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't mind it. That single drop of Bunny obviously still alive in the bottom left. Spirit was trying to hunt it, but Bunny very aware and making sure he moved around to avoid that being caught or anything.
Yeah, we got to upgrade advantage on the side of Bunny. Pretty minimal, though. Very unlikely to find gaps in time where it's going to come into play unless basically Spirit attacks into him. This is a good scan from Spirit. He's going to see that it is a very vulnerable location. The Marines are going to sprint on forward. Bunny needs to hold on for dear life here. The Planetary Fortress contributing. Only 1 tank from Bunny in range of the tanks of Spirit, but actually it takes them down regardless. I'm not sure what Spirit was shooting at with those tanks. It seemed like it could have been much worse.
Yeah, he's going to get a couple tanks on this other side, but then he's going to have to run away as that attack's not quite going to go too well either. And obviously the issue with this always for Spirit is that Bunny has the air control, right? So every time Bunny has that air control, Spirit's going to have to be scanning instead, and that's going to make it very, very difficult to keep on setting up, as we're just going to see everything from Spirit gathering together in the center. And this actually might be a big fight right here. He's going to see this, and it's going to make... There's only 2-3 tanks for Bunny. Like Spirit sieges. You like it? You're crazy, CatZ. You're crazy.
I kind of like... I like it. No, please, like it. Yeah, I like it. I like it.
No
I like it. I like it. If I keep saying I like it, we're going to win the fight. I told you I like it.
What? Disgusting, honestly. How does that fight even work? Your tanks don't die. My tanks do. What?
Yeah, I think it was just the Marine numbers to start off the fight because the tanks are unsieged, right? So we get the DPS out there a little bit faster. And then I actually thought Bunny's going to split his Marines and really minimize the damage that he takes from those tanks. But the cast, man, it doesn't matter. Still, even with the cast, it was a good fight.
Yeah, well, you know what? Spirit's got a 5th base. How many times have you seen Spirit lose when he's got 5 bases? Not once, exactly. You're trying to think of a time, you can't think of it, CatZ.
I mean, Spirit goes 5 base every single time, and he's never won a tournament, so...
Don't need to win a tournament when you just need 1 game, CatZ. Here we go! The tank's in the middle! Okay, stop, Spirit! Turn around! Stop running! No! It was actually not that bad-ish, maybe.
Yeah, it was pretty decent. The Liberator, I mean, this is the winning play here and the winning card for Bunny.
Hey, but Spirit's building 5 Vikings at once. Maybe. He just needs to hold on a little while longer.
Yeah, but that's a difficult bet to make, right? Because he's already going up against greater Viking numbers. So you're right. He needs like 2 waves of 5 Vikings to really break the air control. And even then, actually, I'm not sure if he has enough. So it's a weird space to contest, I think, for Spirit. Bunny does have 2 more Vikings that haven't reinforced yet. And he is taking his own 5th base.
Ooh, I'm nervous, CatZ. You know how I was full of joy and love and everything before? Now I'm scared. I don't like this tournament anymore. It's too stressful. Yeah. This drop's really nice, obviously. If Spirit can get in and get, I mean, all the SCVs just transferred, I don't think you get the base. But Bunny's moving over there. He's too good. He's too mindful of what might happen and what the logical move is. This is his only weak point, right? Because he doesn't have a sense tower on this side yet. So in theory, this is the only place he needs to defend. That 1 tank is gonna just clip on the edge, but that doesn't stop the SCVs from going down. So we'll get some SCVs. We're gonna go for the base. Yeah, I think we've got to lift up and boost either out or into the main, and he's going to boost out, and he's
Oh,
going to
there's
take
an
this
angle.
as a chance.
Yeah, I think there was an angle there for the Vikings to cut off the medevacs, but maybe at the expense of not paying attention to the side of the map, which seems like the more dangerous, the most immediately threatening place. Spirit is once again going to get very good position here onto this planetary fortress. This looks terrible, very difficult to dislodge. It's going to be all up to the Liberator here and the Vikings with the air control. Presumably, we still have a lot of Ravens as well available. They're going to have to help in the air, kind of ignore the tanks for the time being. I very much like that, and the Liberator is going to dislodge this. Yes.
Yeah, Liberator is going to push it back. I mean, I kind of like the position for Spirit as he obviously got into a good place. He is going to get some SCVs on the other side, maybe lift and go into the main or something. He's going to lose one medevac and only a couple of Marines are left on the ground, then he'll go in the main. I mean, he's trying to pull you guys apart a little bit, so pull Bunny apart a little bit. No, he's dropping in range of a missile turret. That's not the play, Spirit. No. Honestly, I'm going to ban Spirit from dropping the main base. It never works out.
Yeah, those Marines are a little bit stranded now, so that is good. Another Dorito cannon thing goes on the tanks, but that's not going to be of much consequence. I really want for Bunny to remake his Liberator. I feel like that was a very important piece that just saved the game for him, being out of position, and now he doesn't have one while still retaining air control.
Okay, but the sensor tower on the left side went down before, so now Spirit is going to actually get ahead of Bunny on the transition or the move over. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Spirit's been good at that. In general, Bunny's been really good at responding to that as well and like thinking ahead, even without the vision. He needs to target fire the units. Don't target fire the planetary during this. The Marines are going to stim. There's only one tank siege from Bunny. Spirit, hang on, hold on. More Marines coming in. Stop them.
Oh,
Stop.
man.
Go back, go back, go back. You've done enough. Just sit here. Your tanks hold the position. You don't need to keep going forward. Yeah, I mean, it's something. He's going to get a few Vikings as well. Okay. He needs to just not be target firing the planetary fortress, and these tanks are doing so much, CatZ. Let's go!
Yeah, I look at the supply, though, and somehow Bunny's still ahead, so this looks dire as hell. But, you know, as I try to channel and look for, I guess, the bright side of things, it seems brighter than the screen looks. So that's good. Spirit's going to be pushed back. Again, that Liberator would have been crucial here. I do understand what Bunny was trying to do here, but I think he rushed a little bit too fast to things there, disabling the tanks, but not really coming in with his entire army, just coming streamlined through that choke, through that corner to where the Marines really didn't get on top of the tanks. The tanks really didn't get the space to siege. I think you could have waited a couple of seconds and had a much cleaner engage there, but as it stands, we're still in it. It still looks doable. The supplies are even.
Yeah, I still love your position. I mean, he's got 8 Ravens, and Ravens do not lie in this matchup. I don't actually really know what Spirit's plan is. I mean, at the moment, he's trying to out-expand, but that only really lasts so long. We're even going to have a Liberator hitting this base as well on the left, so that's going to be a little bit annoying as well. Something Spirit will have to come in and deal with, so that Liberator gets sieged up, and that's going to be a few SCVs that go down. And yeah, one of the big things that Spirit has is an SCV advantage, but that's not going to last long at all if you let all of them die to the Liberator. He loses 6. Yeah, I mean, now the workers start to look a bit more even. Spirit's maxing out, but I mean, I won't lie, CatZ. His army just is not as good. In fact, he's got a lead in no regard. He's not got the Viking count. He's not got the Raven count. He's got 1 tank extra, and he's down 2 Marine. He's only got an SCV lead, but he's not doing anything with the SCV lead, so yeah. Well, I couldn't even see that Liberator there. It was literally off the screen, but the Viking does find it, and will at least push it back. Will not kill it, though.
Yeah, and Spirit does have 2 Liberators that are kind of useless in the fight for now. Now he actually gets the Viking advantage, but he had like two Vikings and 2 Liberators, so I thought the Liberators would be used for harassment instead. But now finally gaining air control, that's the first thing that he has going for him, because otherwise I agree with you. I very much like Bunny's army much better. And even this, I'm not sure if it's fair to call it air control because of the number of Ravens here. As Bunny now pushes through the middle of the map, we might have a base race scenario, as Spirit is not in a position to go back. So yeah, it's gonna be a base race started here, and I'm not sure. I don't know that I like this. I think Spirit does have more bases across the map, but Bunny's gonna be faster to get on top of his production if he's smart, and he is brilliant. He's the best animal named person ever. Another drop from Spirit actually to speed things up.
Yeah, Spirit needs to keep his other units moving as well, though. Dropping in the main base is nice and definitely what you should be doing, but yeah, keep everything else moving too. I just hate the fact you've got 10 Ravens on your side, CatZ. I generally don't think beating those Ravens is going to be easy, although 3 of them are in the main base. If Spirit sees those, he can go kill them, but he's going to save them for now. I mean, one good thing for Spirit as well is he's got much more kind of just room on the map, right? Like he's got a lot more bases set up already, so I like that part a lot. Bunny looks like he's going to try and hold out the far right side, but Spirit has the top right and the far bottom left. I mean, this is very difficult to call. I have no idea who it's good for or what. It's just mayhem in the TVT.
It really is. It's going to be extremely difficult here for either player. As Bunny, I mean, he has the better, the more complex army, I think, right? In a head-to-head fight, I think if things go right for Bunny, he can really take it.
Yeah.
The problem here is that Spirit is going to get his extra bases working and his production resituated much faster. So Bunny's kind of on a clock to take down the army of Spirit, I think.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to call.
SCV on the top as some barracks get stopped from producing. Spirit even has a Liberator. I tell you what, Spirit actually has the Viking control. It's just the 13 freaking Ravens, man. Oh my god, he's going to dive the planetary. I mean, he gets it, but it's all army supply going down the drain. Bunny just needs one fight. And Spirit has nothing on the left side, so if Bunny goes top right and he shuts down the production, then, you know, that's kind of just it, you know? Like, you don't need much more than that. Yeah. And obviously you can't hold a position because of all the Ravens. They can just Matrix and turret everything, so... Yeah, Bunny definitely going the right way, and I don't know what position Spirit's going to try and hold here, but whatever he does, I don't think I love it, as... Oh, he's actually going to find a Raven. That's nice. But, I mean, those Vikings, do they not need to get involved? I feel like these Vikings should get forward and start trying to trade with this air army, because... I mean, he's got the Viking lead, so start picking away at things, you know? Start doing something with this. Oh, it's going to be tough, man. I mean, he can just Matrix every tank and stim and win.
Yeah, and he should do that while the Vikings weren't here. There was an opening that you were talking about, but it didn't happen. So it's, I mean, he really needs to push on forward somehow, Bunny. I don't know if he feels like he has some sort of advantage.
Vikings.
But the longer this goes, the worse it is for Spirit. Come on, go back, go back. All right, the Vikings are going to push on forward now, the Rito cannon. So, yeah, now the Ravens are kind of zoned out, right? And that's kind of the problem here for Bunny. Okay, gets a scan. Maybe this will be go time. Yeah, he unsieges the tanks. He's going for it. He's gonna go for the disable. This is the fight that's gonna matter the most. As here come the Ravens. It's gonna be disable onto all of Spirit's units out of turrets to help. The Vikings are gonna land. This is gonna be enough. The Marines actually pull that. And a crucial time for Spirit.
No, come on, the Matrix, kill things! No.
Yes, no, I don't know.
The tanks kind of hold. I mean, oh my god, no, he's dropping Marines on the tanks. That's not fair. Can we nerf Terran? That's the bullshit.
Oh, these are the last few remaining Marines. The tanks are unsieged, but still the production from Spirit is very scary. The Ravens are all out of energy. The tanks get into a decent position here. Medevacs are not here for Spirit, however, as Bunny says, oh, 3 Ravens with full energy from the sky, Wardi.
No. Ravens, man. Ravens are so freaking good. The Ravens were always the problem. I think we all knew that. You know, Spirit, oh, he's going to get Matrix. He's going to try and stim in. I mean, there's just auto turrets for days, though, right? He's going to kill a tank. He's going to keep on fighting. Yeah, that's not it. That's not it.
Yeah, here come the auto turrets. I mean, those Ravens show up out of nowhere. And Spirit has to tap out. We're still in it, Wardi. And I dare say, if Lambo the King can close things out against Classic or beat Classic here, I am so confident in the GOAT to take it home. So how the tables have semi-turned, like, a little bit of a twist at least.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, CatZ. I don't feel so good anymore. You know, because that game started so well for us. Spirit had everything going his way. He took a horrible fight with the drop in the main, and you know, he never was able to get his footing back in it, right? Like, he was never able to properly, like, get back in the game, because every single time he just got a few Vikings up, he lost the fight, and that just meant that Bunny had the Ravens set up, and Ravens are freaking good in TVT, I'm not gonna lie. I think for a long time in this game, I was very aware that Spirit is probably on the losing path. I just didn't want to admit it, you know? Didn't want to accept the reality in front of me.
Yeah, for me, it was like, even though like I look at the armies, and I like Bunny's better, like I'm still tempted to like look at like the disadvantages that we have and how we're gonna make up for those, because you know, like the game's played on so many fronts, and as far as economy, Spirit was ahead most of the game, and as far as production and just real estate, like real estate is so important in those base trades that I felt like Spirit could maybe come back, but I think you pointed out, like when Bunny decides to go to the right side of the map instead of the left, I think that's where, you know, like if he went to the left, I think we lose. I think that was like a 50-50 with very low information that he took that won him the game.
I feel like Spirit should have been more aggressive with the Vikings faster as well, but also like in that moment too, I feel like you know he's going to bust you, so why not get the Marines in front of the tanks? Like, you've got the Viking control, you've got the vision, you see him unsieging, Get your Marines in front of the tanks already. Kill more Ravens before they drop their auto turrets. Because it's all about that moment. And maybe you want to stay away from, like, an anti-armor missile, but... Oh, man, you just got to go for it in moments like that. Well, CatZ, you know what? Yeah. We like it because it keeps it exciting, you know? We don't want it all to, you know, be figured out already. It means that this match is so important. I mean, I think this one might just determine it all. Let's find out what happens. Take us away, CatZ.
And in the top right-hand side, playing for the Shopify Rebellion and GOAT and the gang, it is the smartest player in the world to ever play the game as the Zerg race. It is Lambo.
And in the bottom left, he's been the quiet one amongst our team. In the beautiful Stasis Wardi color, it is classic. Obviously also representing Alpha X and server disadvantage. Oh, I won't lie, man. But I don't feel good. Lambo's terrifying in the first place in this matchup. Oh, I'm terrified, CatZ. You know, I was laughing yesterday at Roddy. One moment he's hype and all over the place. The next he sounds like, you know, he's died a little bit inside. I kind of feel the same now. Everything was looking good. Everything was feeling great. But now, I'm really worried.
Yeah, I mean, your stomach got to sink now a little bit, right? Like, I mean, this still is on paper the closest match of the entire clan war. You know, like it's Aligulac thinks it's like 51 or 52% for a classic, but I think that with the server favoring Lambo here, you know, that's a 5 or so % shift in my mind. So that plus combined with the fact that Lambo is very, very strong at preparing in general, I feel like we should be slightly ever so favored just enough.
No,
Let's go.
I actually favor Lambo in this as well. Honestly, if it was anyone else, I believe in Classic. Obviously, I picked him for a reason. I have him rated really highly in like my little draft sheet that I had before the draft, and I believe that. I just feel like Lambo's got that nature of being able to prepare for somebody, really figure out what to do, and especially I feel like in ZVP, I feel like Lambo is really good at that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's definitely a scary matchup. Gonna channel into Classic, and if Classic fails here, then I guess ByuN's gonna have to really pull out the special strategies. You know, he's gonna have to step it up big time. So,
For sure.
I don't like it, CatZ. This is so much on the line. If just
I mean, it's a lot on the line, yeah. It is pretty nuts. Okay, the pylon block fails. That's gonna be a mental boom a little bit for Classic here as Lambo takes his third ever so safely. And yeah, I like this. I think that we gave priority to Lambo here, but Lambo actually in the discussions for server priority wanted to give priority to Serral. All right, like he thought that the CVT is very important for the ping. Serral wasn't awake yet. I made the argument that we need Serral playing at a disadvantage because I actually think that Serral will win at a small disadvantage, right? Like, whereas the other matches are so difficult as this has proven out to be. So then I thought that Lambo should take the first round. Don't take the losses.
Okay, one more. Let's go. 3 drones. That wasn't even 2 adepts, CatZ. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, no ping excuses either. For sure. After that.
Jet lag? Can we dial in the jet lag? Yeah.
Man, oh man. Yeah, a rough start, but we're used to rough starts at this point, so that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, every game started terribly for you.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Another one. Oh man, I am just, It's okay. Like, the Void Ray will kill an Overlord. That's what Void Rays do. Lambo gets the information. He is... Oh, the Void Raven kills the... Oh, 2 of those.
Okay.
Automatons.
Let's go, Void Ray. Anything you kill, I'm happy about here. I'm happy about any single thing you kill. Let's do this.
All right. So anyway, Lambo was saying, okay, let Serral take the server advantage. Like, it's so important in the CVT matchup. I was like, I think you should take it. And Lambo was like, okay, like give me the second one because I'm gonna try to play for a macro game, right? Which is more likely what we're gonna see here. And maybe those drone losses, if he is able to stabilize and survive, won't end up mattering much at all. And if Classic isn't going for something like a timing or something like that, which he still might, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So we gave Lambo the priority there. Yeah.
He lost the Oracle.
He's got
it. I'm not sure how much. I mean, obviously the Oracle, huge, but is it really, CatZ? Because the Oracle isn't going to help slaughter you with Zealots, and it already got a few drones. And I think that's the plan of Classic. Just kill as many drones as possible, so Lambo can't possibly be prepared for this. He has the +1 air weapon starting as well, so he's trying to fake Lambo into that idea of, hey, look, I'm making Void Rays, you can drone, you can queen, you know, all this kind of stuff, when in reality he's going to make a crap ton of zealots. But, well, Lambo doesn't quite know what's going on.
I mean that's absolutely brilliant. That's brilliant from Classic to show the upgrade, right, on the Cybercore. It gives a lot of credit to Lambo as well, who is gonna spot the upgrade yet again, right? So sees the Cybercore, no doubt, researching. That is what that link is there for. So he's gonna think it's air, and that is really, really bad for us. He is making a lot of overlords, and he will see zealots. He will see zealots. That is good. I mean, he spots a couple zealots. I've never been so excited about someone seeing zealots. But he does see 2 zealots, and that might be enough to clue him in. He starts roaches now. Is it too late, Wardi?
Is it too late? I mean, this is only zealots. Like, I don't know. Like, Classic's got gas, but he's got no Templar archives. Like, is this not meant to have like some Archons at least? I don't know. Actually, CatZ, I've got no actual idea what's exactly meant to happen. But I guess we're just gonna zealot it up in a few different places at once. We're gonna get a couple queens in the natural. No, he's used his charge on the Roach Roaring. Is that what we want to get? Classic, apparently so. He's gonna warp in an extra round of zealots as well. This is all about positioning for Lambo. He needs to get into choke points and do what he can.
Yeah, I mean, the drones are trying to shield the roaches here at the natural base. The queens actually mistransfused there in the in-between bases. This is not looking too great for Lambo. He's still ahead in supply. I'm just gonna stare at the supply, and yeah.
The Prism's just gonna keep warping in though. CatZ, you got more and more zealots to deal with. Although I gotta love the drone hold position. That's gonna help. Oh my god, he had even more zealots in the main base. Classic is a zealot monster. Let's go, Classic. Kill everything. Get rid of every drone. I don't know if we should target the Roach Roaring still, but I mean, I guess the Roach Roaring dies. What you gonna build, CatZ, with that Roach speed as well? We just keep building zealots, and you know what? He's got 700 gas in the bank, and he's still killing you.
Oh man, he's still killing you. Really, Wardi? That's what you hold your punch for? Like when we're dead, that's when you kick me?
Yeah, CatZ, I'm not used to this whole thing. Let's go, Classic.
Oh man. Well, we lost our first clan war. That's pretty rough. In spite of Serral, I mean, in spite of Serral sacrificing himself, you know, like going after going after the big players, going with the ping disadvantage. I mean, we'll see if he can take it. The points are still important, I think. Like, it's not unlikely that we get tiebreakers or something of the likes, right?
And also, if we increase prize money, we will be adding money per map won. So actually, you know, every map is definitely important. From prize money, tiebreak is, yeah, basically. The only reason there's not money per map right now is I wanted to make it feel like a real team event, you know, like people get paid out initially based on the team performance rather than, oh, I won my best of one, whatever. So that's why it's kind of tied in on the team initially, but the next prize money raise is going to go into like every map you win, just to make those extra maps feel a little bit better, just in case it don't come down to tiebreakers.
Yeah. Is it caster prize pool as well? The next, or is that
yeah. So
30K?
Yeah, so we introduced the caster prize pool and like a little prize pool bump for the players as well. It's like in sync.
Hypers. So yeah, everyone go and check that out. Is there a command in the chat that people can use to Kickstarter?
! Kickstarter, yeah. ! Kickstarter to support on Kickstarter. There's all sorts of rewards as well, guys. Like when we have like the team info sheets and stuff, I'll just bring you up here, CatZ. I believe it's still on your team. You can become a supporter or a super fan of teams, and obviously if you're a super fan, you get names on. So all of those rewards are still available as well. Replay packs and stuff, behind the scenes Discord, and all that kind of stuff. So do check it out. Obviously this event doesn't happen with you guys without you guys kickstarting it. So yeah, that's helps a lot.
Of course, to our 15 supporters and super fans. What's the difference between supporter and super fan?
Supporter is just a lower tier, and then super fan is like they've pledged a little bit more money and they get like guaranteed names on the brackets and stuff like that, basically. So
that's cool that we have 15 of each.
Yeah, you guys
would think you'd have more supporters.
Well, yeah, it's kind of amazing because it's really funny. Like Pig has like 20 super fans but like 4 supporters, and then CG has like 5 super fans and like 20 supporters. So it's like
strange.
It's really random almost. Like most people are like fairly even, but then those two are like complete outliers. So it's it's kind of crazy.
Very interesting. Yeah. And you would think by default there's more supporters than super fans, right? But I guess StarCraft is just full of super fans.
So yeah, get your pledges in, guys. If you pledge today, obviously I can't update graphics today live for the stream, but I will send out new messages tonight. So check your Kickstarter inboxes, fill out the stuff, and it will be live on the graphics from tomorrow onwards. So do check that out as we're ready to go into Serral versus ByuN. Well, honestly, CatZ, I'm glad we can just enjoy this series as a little bit of a, sit back, relax, have some fun.
Yeah.
you guys fight for a map, sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, there's not too much on the line, but it's still Serral. Due respect to him. I was hoping, we get in this position with the whole clan war on the line.
Yeah.
And then it's just the best. But it's not the case, unfortunately, this time around. We'll see what happens in this game, however.
We will see what happens. We're going to be starting off with my boy in the top left-hand side. Apparently, my team don't think you can win TVZ, so it's a good thing it doesn't matter that much, although we'd still love to take the map. It's Shopify Rebellion's ByuN in the upper left.
And at the bottom right-hand side, it is the greatest of all time to ever play the game, really. It's Serral. Beast. And part of the reason I guess he wasn't too concerned about ping also is he probably plans on playing roaches here.
Yeah. I actually did tell the guys, I was like, hey, look, I honestly think Serral's going to come out on Berlingrad or Curious. So, if you're going out on Berlingrad or Curious, and ByuN was like, ByuN laughed at me. He was like, no, Wardi, you're so silly. Then when it came up, I was like, really? Hey, ByuN, you're playing Serral. He just laughs. I'm like, yeah, you knew who was right here, didn't you? Yeah.
I mean, we were looking for ByuN on Berlingrad or Curious, so that was kind of our 50-50 as well. Yeah, and we found them. It just doesn't matter. I'm so depressed right now.
I know.
I feel, it's so sad.
I know. It's amazing how invested we are in these teams. It's what makes this format great. It's what makes this whole thing so fun. It's awesome. Awesome when you win, not awesome when you lose.
Yeah, it's not so awesome when you lose. But I got another clan war in a little bit that we hope to win, so maybe there is yet time for redemption. But this kind of, to me, it confirms my theory as well, Wardi, that we need Serral to snipe like the best players and play at a disadvantage. Because I mean, with an advantage, we couldn't pull it through. The other matches are just difficult. And Bunny with a cast even won. I mean, it's, I don't want to use the word disappointed,
You don't want to use it, but sometimes that's just a thing. This was a pool first from Serral, mate, and ByuN did not scout, so he's not going to be able to... Oh, he's going to run into it with the Reaper. Oh my god. Honestly, my players are just blessed in the first 3 minutes of the game, I swear.
They really are. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. They're paying you.
They're paying. What can I change
I don't know. The organizer. I don't know.
What can I change about the first 3 minutes?
You've tweaked the maps. You've tweaked the maps.
I've tweaked the maps. And I'm like, okay, right. You guys have to spawn on the top left because your minerals are closer to the command center. No one will notice.
You've sneaked in recordings into my players' sleeps to where to force them into some weird actions in the early game.
I got their emails and their Discord tags when they signed up, and now I have everything. I have their replays. They just don't know it yet.
Oh man.
So this out of ByuN, by the way, is a fast 3cc. He actually got Spirit and ByuN actually had a little bit of a chitter-chatter about how to beat Serral. And Spirit said, look, do this build. Serral can't defend it. And ByuN said, okay, I'll check it. And I can tell you right now, he has not done that build. So definitely not quite believing in Spirit's kind of strategy. But it's similar. It was Spirit was like, yeah, do a CC first and a 3cc. And, he had some extra little bits, especially to do against Serral. But this wasn't quite that, so a little bit different, but still maybe similar to some extent. We'll see what ByuN wants to do with the starport. I mean, it looks like he's going to swap the Banshees, right?
It was a hyper aggressive timing basically from Spirit?
No. It was a macro aggression. When you 3cc, but then you get aggressive after? It was a bit like that.
Okay, with a very delayed fourth, or I guess it's just the timing of getting the faster 3CCs?
CatZ, I can't disclose this information. My team might want to, bring in.
Fair enough.
Bring the anti-Serral strat out later as well. I don't know how important it is. I don't want to be the reason they lose. I don't want to be just blabbing on their builds. So.
Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think against roaches, it's probably difficult to get aggressive overall. So maybe a blessing in disguise that ByuN isn't following Spirit's recipe. He is getting a Banshee with cloak, which is good news for him, as there is a Roach Warren that I think he has spotted, right? No, he has not.
But he's going to send the Reaper in now, which will see the roaches. So he knows it's roaches. That's great. An amazing grenade that hits nothing at all. He's just getting the bad grenades out the way now. Save the good ones for later.
Yeah, he didn't really spot the Roach Warren. It's more that he's just on your team, and you guys are blessed with infinite luck, it seems so.
Is it infinite luck? Oh, my team just that good, CatZ. They just know everything they need to know.
Yeah, I guess you could go with that. I mean, this Hellions are going in, looking for, already a block from Serral there, so that's good. It's so difficult to find excitement for this, even though it's Serral playing for me. Like, I always love watching Serral play, you know, and I love to watch him perform. Like, he's just a masterclass, but like every time I look at him, he reminds me of my team.
He reminds you of your team.
No. Well, we got this. We're gonna win this league. This was a tough matchup. Like I saw it on paper. It was always a tough matchup. Okay, we're fine.
It was also.
Here come the Banshees.
Yeah, the Banshees, which have cloaked from across the map, and he saved 2 of them before showing a single one. So trying to be sneaky, but Serral is freaking good at the game, so he pulls his drones immediately, and a lone drone goes down. But I like the Banshees just kind of lurking in between. It's on to run out of cloak energy. Obviously, it flares up, so Overseer's on the way in as well. At the same time, we're trying to roast some drones. ByuN, that's not quite the damage you're looking for, buddy. Only 1 Hellion went down.
Yeah, Serral killed his own Crypto Murder, right? Was that a Crypto Murder that died? That's kind of weird. Yeah, alrighty. So this hatchery and a little bit of fire. I don't know that ByuN needed to back away from that. Just a single queen might have been able to get a cancel there at the expense of losing more HP, but perhaps not either of the Banshees. Hellions are posturing now at the watchtower, but there's roaches there ready to greet him, so very difficult to run past those unless he wants to go north and then... Okay, now he sees actually the roaches moving out, so he might think that he has an opening. Not gonna take it though. A lot of those Hellions bruised.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting to see where ByuN tries to find the opening at all, right? As you see, Infest is on the way up from Serral too. Do you feel, okay, here's a genuine question. I know we love Serral, and Serral's great and really good, but do you not think Serral's much scarier when he plays Ling Bane versus when he plays like a Roach style? Or do you think it doesn't matter because this gets him to the late game, and that's where he's the most comfortable?
Yeah, something along those lines. I think so. Like, the one time that Serral used the hatch block that I like to use, he kind of, his twist was to go roaches. And I think the idea is, generally speaking, with roaches, he's just safer, right? And that guarantees him, like you said, the late game. And I think that is absolutely where he is strongest. And I think that he can play any style really well. Like, obviously, there's kind of like a little bit more of a skill cap with roaches, but it's still very difficult, I think, to just have roaches in good positions all the time and just be aware of what's going on. And that's where Serral thrives. He's just a very complete player, right? Like, he's not just a mechanical beast. He's just, he can play anything, I think. And yeah, that's amazing. When he says, I'm gonna go roaches and I feel like good about it, like he feels comfortable, he feels confident. I'm like, okay, you're a beast.
Yeah, he's
a goat.
He's just, like I say, like I think that's what makes Serral so good. He can play whatever he feels is the best way for him to just get to where he's most comfortable. It doesn't have to be the ideal way. It doesn't have to be the scariest way, because he just knows if he gets to eventually where he wants to be, he is just that much of a favorite. And it's like, it just doubles down how scary he is as one Banshee will fall in the bottom left. It just makes him difficult to play against as well, because how do you abuse someone that can play safely and still be fine? Because it's so difficult to abuse them being safe.
Exactly, yeah. Like there was this series that I did the breakdown, and in Serral's episode, I've brought this up a couple times, but I was so surprised because he opened with a pull first, right, against in CVT, and then it was against Innovation, I think, or something. Like we watched the replay, right, and we were meant to talk about it and like kind of like go through his thoughts like during the game and such. And he opens with a pull first that doesn't accomplish anything, which is to say Innovation stays back with the Reaper. The pull first doesn't do anything, so he just has links earlier instead of drones and a pull earlier instead of a hatchery, which is straight up a disadvantage. There is the Queen to mitigate there, of course, in terms of larva, but I asked Serral, okay, so how do you play from behind, or like, do you feel like you're behind here? And he's like, I don't really feel behind. I'm like, okay, well, I guess that works, right? Like,
yeah. Oh. This fight wasn't super pretty for Serral, but I think this is mostly about getting the army on the right side set up. But ByuN has a sensor tower right in the middle of the map to see all of this, so he's going to know it's moving along there, and Serral trying to come in from the bottom side at the same time. ByuN just going to be chilling though, and those few lurkers trying to stay on the high ground as best they can, as they just harass from the high ground. I mean, this is one of the most annoying positions on Curious Minds. Usually it's the Terran abusing this against the Zerg, as ByuN just lost a tank that was unsieged to corrosive vials, which I'm going to advise him not to do in the future as well. He believes he can get the lurkers, so he's going to stim for them. I mean, all the marauders are going down like immediately, and then extra lurkers show up. No, ByuN, not like this. This was not the play at all. No.
Yeah, and I love Serral's version of this build, by the way. Like I think this is the build that the Europeans like to call the cave bob style, and it was popularized by the Korean Zergs actually. So it's cool to see Serral give a nod to this, because a lot of the other Europeans are kind of like you know, see this build as kind of like not optimal or not maybe the best approach to the matchup. But I like that Serral's not just doing this, but also kind of adding a little bit of a spin, adding those infestors in there that have already found some success too.
Yeah. No, it was something that Doc did a lot, right? Like initially.
Yeah.
Because he just loved opening roaches super early in the game, like almost like he's gonna roach all in, but then he's just like, aha, I made 4 roaches, kill me now. And this Terran's like, I've got 3 command centers. But then Doc doesn't care, and Serral doesn't care here either, because this is obviously a good position. That choke of the Terran is gonna work against ByuN as he tries to push in to get the lurkers. I mean, yeah, the lurker's doing a lot of work. We are going to see a couple of them low now. If we can just get rid of those couple low HP lurkers, we're going to push this back, and Ravagers are expensive, so ByuN is going to push Serral away. On the top side, there's one more lurker still being annoying. I love there's apparently just a missile turret up here now as well, and a couple of Liberators on the way out as well, so ByuN can start harassing himself as well.
Yeah, a little bit of the problem there for Serral, I think, was that he was attacking the Planetary Fortress and taking damage from the Planetary Fortress with his Roach Ravager, where he might have been better served just shielding those lurkers for them to do the damage from the siege, so maybe not paying attention there for a brief second, and ByuN overtime able to dislodge. So we'll see here as Marauder heavy is ByuN. Serral identifies that and now is committing heavier to the links, 56 on the board.
Yeah, that's a lot of lings on the map, and that's obviously just get forward, support the lurkers, right? Buffer for the lurkers so they can get in position. Obviously, the lurkers nowadays are not as crazy good at repositioning as they were with that nerf that came into them, but yeah, this Liberator, by the way, is having a horrible time. It's actually going to get killed by 3 separate vials from the same Ravager.
That is just so Serral, right? Like there just is there another player that could just have like that dance happening where it's like protecting a single lurker with a single Ravager from the only threat that he has available? Okay, never mind. That was the Liberator, right? Like just having one single piece kind of sectioned off to do the job, exactly the job that it needs to. That's just so Serral.
Man, I've never been so afraid of one Ravager as well. This one Ravager
yeah, exactly.
5 kills, it's killed a turret, it's killed a Liberator. It's not messing around. It's ByuN just dropping with a few Marauders on the left side, denying a base or so. Obviously, he's gotten up to that ghost count. He's really accepted that this is going to start turning into late game, and it's just going to go there, which I guess with this style that Serral has played, he kind of have to accept, right? Because if you go overboard trying to kill him early when he's playing safe, it doesn't work. So ByuN's kind of saying, okay, you want to play late game, I'm going to accept that, we're going to go there, and here we are now, and this is one of the things I think Serral does very well. He's completely swapped out of lurkers, and he's just going to play Ling Bane into all these ghosts, and now the ghosts have very minimal effect because there's no lurkers to snipe. And Ling Bane actually kind of counters ghosts because they just don't trade as effectively or as efficiently as they want to. As here we go, Serral, big fight, massive EMP though, hits both the Vipers, so no CatZ available. And ByuN gonna have a concave down the ramp. Maybe this actually is okay for ByuN.
It looks pretty decent for ByuN, to be honest. I'm not sure if engaging after the fact, after those Vipers get EMP'd, it was the best idea for Serral. I think that it was crucial for him to kind of disable those tanks if he wanted to go to the left, or at least, you know, parasitic bomb the medivacs, or do something with the Vipers. Even just disable some of these ground units from attacking a little bit longer. So yeah, a little bit of an overextension perhaps, and now the Vikings or the Ghosts are actually getting pretty good snipes. Serral still maxed, however his economy has been insanely good this entire game, but so is ByuN's now. Oh
my goodness, there's no overseer here. CatZ Ghosts are invisible and they can't be seen. A Baneling rolls in, connects on a couple, but the last couple ghosts will get out of there, and he sniped down like every Hydra in that fight as well, so that was a crazy efficient fight for ByuN. He's just trading very well efficiency-wise, although he might lose these couple of ghosts for free. I don't think there's much you can do there. He EMP as a Viper, at least gets something out of it. Serral's obviously just rebuilding instantly. ByuN has to just chip away at him, and eventually he has to break the top right or bottom left. Like, he can't let Serral keep mining from these bases, because one of those is meant to be his own, and outplaying a Zerg in the efficiency game to the point where you make up for not just being down a base, but essentially down 2 bases, right? Because Serral not only takes one from you, but he takes it for himself. That's just nigh on impossible. So eventually ByuN has to fight for the top left or top right or bottom left. And that's going to be tough because Serral is doing a great job of keeping up the pressure, so he never gets that chance.
Yeah, at the same time, ByuN has done a very good job to kind of like capitalize on his advantages by taking extra CCs, so he's going to have a lot of economy to work with and be able to potentially make a massive army down the line, right, where he can sacrifice a lot of his SCVs or even not just remake this. As I say that, he's remaking 3 SCVs. At this point, I'm not sure that I'm a huge fan of that. With as many orbital commands as he's going to have and, you know, just like having already 71 workers regardless, I don't know that remaking SCVs at this point is the way. I think he's going to start, you know, there's already 17 at the 3rd base, 17 out of 10 that is, so yeah, like barely can saturate his bases already.
Yeah, I don't really like it either. The only thing I think is maybe he's just ready to lose more, as he has obviously got this position. I love this because this is actually a very safe position for him to play from on that bottom left, and that's going to help him to deny this base, which, like I was just saying, he really needs to get rid of. That is the easier base for him to get rid of because it's close to his own bases. So yeah, he really needs to do that. As this is a flood of Lings going to move in for Serral, who's got a couple Vipers, blinding clouding away, and I mean, the reinforcements show from ByuN are mostly Ghosts, and they need to be careful. You don't want to lose those to a bunch of Banelings. Again, 16 SCVs going down. And one of the things that I think Serral does very well is just lurking with these Infestors. He's just got a random Infestor on the center there, and obviously that lone Infestor can be so deadly if it catches the right fungal growth.
Yeah. Yeah, the Infestors onto the Ghosts are extremely important. Oh, Serral not going to be paying attention perhaps to the turret. So yeah, this Infestor is likely to go down in a couple of seconds. Actually, goes for the EMP! No! Beautiful move from Serral there, right before the turret completes as well. ByuN with the instant revenge scam.
The instant revenge scam, and his turret's already done, so that's actually just had an insult to injury. It wasn't even needed. He's got no... does he need energy? What do you need energy for here? CatZ to kill Banelings? I mean, some snipes might be nice. Oh, I mean, he is going to hold on. He loses that base top side. I'm talking about him denying the bottom left, but he needs to hold on to his own 5th base to begin with. Obviously, at least he's able to put the new orbital up over there, but I mean, he's got extra CCs. I'd love to just make it a planetary. I know that costs money to put back in. Maybe he wants to be able to lift it off against Banes. That was a nutty move from Serral. We're seeing that a lot nowadays. That lurking Infestor just getting a lot done. We will deny the bottom left base for the moment. Serral's not put a lot of attention on saving that because I think he's just content with mining whatever he can. And then when he takes ByuN's attention away again, he'll just attempt to retake it himself once more. I mean, he's not even really spread creep to protect that location, so...
Yeah, and I'm with you. I think that Infestors were overlooked for a very long time because of the constant nerfs that they were getting. Like, they used to be a unit that you would just mass up and it would be fine. And I think that a lot of the player mentality at the top shifted to it's a great unit to it's not a good unit because you can't mass it anymore. But I think there's still like so much value in just, 2-3 Infestors to have with your army. Like similar to High Templars, only you don't want them even in such great numbers, right? It's just the fungal is just amazing, and like we just saw, the Neuroparasite can also do wonders.
Yeah, absolutely is just going to be seeing the base top left, right from ByuN trying to be taken. Serral just re-expands bottom left. I mean, resources lost is staying around 8k as well. It just needs to get better than that. Like, ByuN is not trading efficiently anymore. He's trading about the same as Serral is. Oh, that was another Infestor dropping the neural down. So, again, just being very annoying.
Scandal.
Yeah, that's nice at least.
Yeah, very good reaction from ByuN, who is now very, very well situated here to take the space after taking the bottom left-hand side base from Serral. Gets an abduct onto the Liberator just to open the ground up a little bit. Serral's gonna think twice about overcommitting here. However, there's very well spread out tanks, even if a Viper gets through, not EMP through that mass of ghosts, the tanks are really well spread. So it's gonna be a very difficult position now for Serral to dislodge. And I think this is the right call. Drops a Spire, he's ways away, but he's gonna need Brood Lords, I think, to start contesting with this number of tanks.
Yeah, I like it. Just more Infestor. I don't like it, but it's the right call. More Vipers, more Infestors on the way up. The Spire. He's transitioning away from this army that's going to run in and deny the base into realizing I can't do that anymore. So instead, I'm going to make an army that can just slowly chip away at you instead with the spellcasting and stuff. And yeah, it just makes a lot of sense because ByuN, like you say, is so well situated up there. And Serral says, well, that's fine, because the more you situate yourself up there, the less you can do about the bottom left. The more I just mine away from a base that's meant to be yours. And I mean, I keep on harping on about this point, but it really is so important that if ByuN doesn't deny this base and actually take it for himself, it doesn't matter how well you trade, it's almost impossible to make up for it.
Yeah, and it's really just such a pleasure watching Serral. Like his unit, his not just his units and control and all that. Like it's just like his decision making with how he moves on the map. Like his movement is just so impressive, right? And now he takes a defensive position knowing that he's going to look for a transition that he can't really bust the top. As I say that, however, he identifies most of the army here is on the bottom, and so he's going to go for the tanks with the Zerglings. They're incredibly vulnerable right now. Going to take a good chunk of them and force his way into this middle line. That's just so incredibly good from Serral, right? Like sees the Marines and the Ghosts on the bottom and knows that the Zerglings can actually do work against the tanks.
Yeah, no, absolutely great move, but it's still expensive for Serral. He's now 13k resources lost behind. I mentioned him being 8k lost behind for quite a while, but that's changed now, and at the moment, it doesn't seem like he has a straight-up army that can fight ByuN. So if ByuN starts pushing aggressively, now is the time, because he's running out of mining elsewhere. Now is the time to really push forward. Take a better position on the bottom, one that can maybe even protect and hold the bottom left base yourself. I mean, he's fallen back a little bit, but that's given Serral a chance to spend his money. Of course, Serral, I think, is lava issues more than anything, CatZ. He's got 4 lava, and he's got 5k, 4k in the bank. So if he could spend his money, he'd have a lot more stuff. He'd be maxed out, and then the numbers wouldn't be as scary. ByuN's going to relocate a lot back to the top right again, though.
Yeah, as he should. He got his objective in the bottom left. I mean, he's going to probably try to take that base. This cliff is fantastic for ByuN as well. Serral really needs to get to Broodlords. He's already working on the Corruptors. And the Greater Spire is going up as well. But ByuN is already reacting to that potential with his own Thors. So it's not going to be easy from Serral. But again, I really like his decision-making throughout this game. It's been a really fantastic game of StarCraft 2 between these two.
That was a nice catch on those few ghosts on the ramp. Really well done. ByuN's scanning around. He's going to see the Greater Spire. So that's really good information. It tells him that, yes, I should be building these Thors. I want those. That's not a mistake. He can continue to go for it. And why is Serral getting to take this bottom left base again? ByuN just can't justify sending enough units there or stepping further forward to actually protect him, man. It's like, it's just so tough. And, oh no, is this going to be the end? I've loved watching these tanks. One of them has 50 kills. Not just yet. They're going to survive for the moment.
Yeah, Serral's going to need the Broodlords here. Maybe there was an opening before those ghosts arrived to maybe just abduct some of those tanks and take them down with the 3 Vipers, but Serral knows that he can't hold this position without the Brutes. There's 12 on the way, and he knows where a lot of the tanks are. I think that it's the right call to go to the bottom with the Broodlords right now. The top is not really something that you want to contest for at the moment.
Yep.
So I think the game is just going to be played for this bottom corner expansion.
Yeah, bottom corner, it will come down to 15k resource loss difference. Important to keep mentioning that because, again, that's a big determining factor in how this turns out. What's left on this? It's about maybe about a bit more, a bit less than halfway mined out this bottom left base. So, ByuN, I mean, honestly, should just mule it instantly. I feel like get as many minerals off it as he can, and then slowly work on the gas there.
Yeah, Serral actually giving a little bit of a misinformation, showing units on the watchtower at the top from ByuN. Makes a lot of ByuN's army move, as I'm seeing on the minimap. Now ByuN is adjusting as he gets the scan on the Broodlords, but that means that the ghosts aren't here right away, and so the tanks start shelling at each other to start the fight before the ghosts arrive, and that's pretty good for Serral, who is looking for those ghosts. Doesn't find them, he'll retreat. Now he sees them to the right, he's gonna go on the chase with this Lingbane Hydra, as the Broodlords have done their job in dislodging this annoying tank positioning for the most part.
Hey, my hero, 68 kill siege tank, he's still there! No, don't die! Protect him at all costs! No, rip. R.I.P.
Oh, the Queen nerf coming into play! Yeah, really good fungal there. But yeah, the Queen's actually not able to transfuse off of creep. There's only 2 of them and barely with any transfuse energy, as I say that. But yeah, Serral fighting for this base. He really needs it to win the game.
I think, obviously, yeah, fighting for this base what it all comes down to. ByuN is got a competitive arm. He's got no gas to really rebuild with, though, so he's just trickling in reinforcements, and Serral still has that bank. I mean, one more kind of wipe of Serral's army, not even a wipe, but like trade. And then Serral is in a similar position, right? Then he doesn't have a bank to work with anymore either. I just don't know if we can find that one more fight. A lot of these fights before was ByuN like very far ahead in army supply. That's not the case now. It's equal army supplies. Serral has this Broodlord army. I think it's going to be really tough to break this.
It's gonna be really tough, and between those tanks, you have something like 200 kills, even after your 70-something kill tank went down, which is just insane, right? Like such a good position for ByuN. But Broodlords was really the answer, and that's another just example of like, you know, Serral like sees a situation, goes for the counter, and just doesn't hesitate. Even if he was slow to the Broodlords and wanted to play a differently paced game than he is playing right now, he knows when to give up on what's not gonna work. That is a ton of Thors, however. He really needs the Vipers here to come in handy, as a lot of the Broodlords have already fallen.
Yeah, the Ghosts all stuck in the front, so they're going to go down, and now the Lingbane Hydra is going to have its way. The tanks all fall, and I just don't think ByuN has enough here to hold on. The Thors have to retreat, but if you lose the Thors, you can't deal with the Broodlords, and Serral looks as though he's going to make this break. I mean, he's going to get turned away, but he's the boy, like I said, he's got the bank, right? He's already remade a bunch of Zerglings, he's got a lot of gas to spend, and ByuN just has nothing stacked up ready to go. He needed to mine this bottom left base. He's mined out apart from the top side, and yeah, I mean, we're just going to engage in one more time. Serral is going to take the final map for you cats to at least get that map point on the board. Hey, great game at least, if nothing else.
Yeah, that was an amazing game, and it's awesome to see that the GOAT is goating. Unfortunately, the gang today didn't really show up, right? Like 1 point from the GOAT, 1 point from the gang, not enough. We need 3. So we'll see if we can pull it off next time around. But yeah, that was always going to be a difficult matchup for us, I think, on paper. And yeah, congrats, Wardi.